Welcome to Intuitive Astrology with Molly McCord. Thank you so much for joining me today as we take a look at the astrological energies unfolding from November 16th until November 23rd, as we have a lot of energies moving forward this week. And we're going to take a look at what is happening as we see Mercury and the Sun move from Scorpio into Sagittarius. We're going to have Mercury and Venus traveling conjunct in Sagittarius as well. Plus, the exact square is unfolding this week between Mars retrograde in Gemini, squaring Neptune retrograde in Pisces at 22 degrees. All of this is also building up to the November 23rd Sagittarius New Moon at 2 degrees, plus Jupiter in Pisces stationing direct at 28 degrees on November 23rd as well. So this is a week of energies moving forward, but there's also a stronger energy signature in the mutable signs. So that means there's going to be opportunities here to remain flexible and adaptable, to not be too locked in to one particular choice or outcome, as well as opening up our energy, loosening it up, and looking at where perhaps it's been too strict or linear. So we're going to talk about all of that and more in today's podcast. This is the Wednesday episode where we take a look at the weekly energies, and it's a bit different than the Monday episodes where we focus in on a specific astrological theme or topic. For those of you who are new to this program, welcome and thank you for joining us. For those of you who have been consistent regular listeners, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me as well. Also, just a brief introduction of myself, that I have been practicing and studying astrology for over 30 years, and I practice Western tropical astrology that incorporates the outer planets. That's one of the main differences between Western astrology and Vedic astrology. And I approach astrology through the intuitive, spiritual lens of energies, where we look at how we're growing, how we're tuning into more of our energy and our frequency, and ultimately how we can become more conscious of ourselves and all of the energies that we're working with on this very grand playground that we move through on the human experience. Astrology is a wonderful divine navigation tool for us to use as we move through our life experiences and understand what the cosmic weather is, similar to being a meteorologist, even being an economist, where you're looking at the cycles, the trends, the patterns, gleaming wisdom and understanding from that information, and then creating harmony with the energies and understanding the forecast of energies. And that's what we do with astrology. We approach it from a place of understanding what's happening outside of us, but it's connecting directly to us individually and collectively, and allowing us to make choices, be in our power, be in our strength, be in our light, and understand what we can choose going forward. And so this is a week where, as both Mercury and the Sun move from the fixed water sign of Scorpio into the mutable fire sign of Sagittarius, we are taking some things with us that we've determined are important. It has meaning. It's important in what we claim and want in our lives. And every astrological sign is very different from the sign before it and the sign after it. There's many intricate patterns within the zodiac wheel. And so we move from Scorpio, which is a feminine energy, into Sagittarius, which is a masculine energy. And there are opportunities now to get moving based on what you have claimed for yourself. As the planets leave Scorpio, there's a deeper understanding of what is working within you, what is happening in your psyche, what has been perhaps consuming your energy, your emotional energy? What has been working with you at deeper levels of your being for you to dive in and understand about yourself, what's been showing up for you, what's been unfolding for you? Scorpio is a journey of reconnecting to our power, allowing anything that's powerless to be a catalyst for change, to allow ourselves to continually grow and move forward by also being very honest with ourselves around our fears. And it could be that during Scorpio season, you have faced some fears, you have acknowledged some parts of yourself, some parts of your energy that you want to elevate. It could even be that Scorpio season has shown you what has been happening in your personal emotional world and how external energies affect you, because Scorpio is an energy of merging, sharing, bringing together and overlapping essentially energies. And it could be that you understand where you need new boundaries, where things aren't working for you, where you're observing or taking in too much. Perhaps you're absorbing and taking in too much. Maybe there's things that you've understood are no longer supporting the strengthening of your energy. It's not empowering. So there are choices to be made. There are things that you can shift and evolve in order to be in that power that is your divine energy signature. So the Scorpio journey can be quite internal and intense, but it brings about gifts. It delivers the gold. After going into the energy of getting to the root of something or wanting to understand, why am I like this? Why is this happening? What's been going on here that has been taking me away from my power? Scorpio wants to return you to that place of empowerment that is uniquely yours. And so often there is a letting go that transpires during Scorpio season, a letting go of previous energies within yourself, letting go of lower habits, expressions, routines, choices, thoughts, letting go and evolving that, because you're declaring to yourself that you want more from yourself. You're understanding, no, this is what feels good. This is what is true for me. Scorpio connects you to that truth. It's an emotional truth. And this is important because it also helps us understand not only what we need and what we want, but what drives us forward. And as the energy shifts from Scorpio into Sagittarius, now we're shifting into a higher perspective of what you've been learning. More about the soul's journey, the soul's lessons, the soul's healing, because Sagittarius often lifts us up to a higher understanding. Sagittarius is curious, and in its healthy expression, it's very open-minded. Sagittarius allows us to stay open to new energies, new understandings, new growth, and to give ourselves that room and space to allow the energy to run through us without being weighed down or attached to anything. Scorpio energy helps us dig in to what is essential for you now. And then the Sagittarius energy supports you in moving forward and taking action. And this is the case for all of the fire signs. The fire signs are the element of inspiration, creation, what you're going to do with something. And the fire signs always follow the water signs in the zodiac wheel. So we've had some type of emotional understanding, perhaps emotional clearing or cleansing that has connected you with new wisdom. And that's actually one of the key words that I associate with both Scorpio and Sagittarius is wisdom and truth. What have you understood about the core of who you are? Then when the energy moves into Sagittarius, that's what forms your belief systems. Belief systems, when they're consciously created and acknowledged, stem from a part of you. They come from something that resonates with you. Belief systems can be conscious and unconscious. They can be small and they can be grand. And they are part of our internal operating systems, meaning how we move through life, how we make the choices that we do, but also how we are in alignment with a particular part of ourselves that is always actively co-creating with the universe. So when we move into Sagittarius energies, those belief systems become more pronounced. And that's where we start to see perhaps how we are creating certain life experiences based on what we believe, based on what we are giving energy to, and also being able to question it, assess it, and look at it consciously. Sagittarius is a mutable sign. The mutable signs are about variety, choices, options, experiences. I could go left or I could go up. And I know you thought I was going to say left or right, but this is my point. Sagittarius is like, I could go any direction. I could do some wheelies. I could do some figure eights. You know, there's movement here that is meant to keep us open. So not only do we see action picking up as the planets move into the fire signs of Sagittarius, but we also feel our energy open up, possibilities open up that are meant to expand us. And this is where we can have opportunities to see something differently, to see it in a new way, to see it in a new light. Oh, that's what that was teaching me. Oh, that's why I went through that experience. That's what I was meant to learn or understand about myself. So there is a lot here that can reveal to us how we're living our lives, specifically in these current energies. Now, before the sun enters Sagittarius on November 22nd, the sun in Scorpio is going to sextile Pluto in Capricorn at 26 degrees on November 18th. And then 2 days later, on November 20th, the sun in Scorpio trines Jupiter retrograde in Pisces at 28 degrees. So this sun in Scorpio is still moving through a powerful period of change, understanding, passion, and desire. When the sun in Scorpio sextiles Pluto in Capricorn, this is a very ambitious, focused energy. This is where something could click or connect, and you could really feel there's something you want. I want to move towards that goal. I want to achieve this. I'm ready to transform this. And so there's an intensity here this week where you're connecting with more of your soul's wisdom. And that's what I feel very intensely. And I'm seeing it as very sparkly, very clean, very clear. That sun in Scorpio can be very magnetic, very charming, and it has an intensity to it that drives us. And it feels like what we are coming into contact with is more of how we want to live our lives in a place that brings us life, that gives us beautiful, uplifting fuel. And it also has a connection to a new level of empowerment. And I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that elevation this week as the sun connects with both Pluto and Jupiter in supportive energies. This is where something opens up and you could feel yourself giving a powerful yes. You could have a strong response to something. You could say, yes, I want that, as you come across the most spectacular holiday decorations in the store. Or you could feel yourself connecting with new goals, connecting with new possibilities for your life. Now, both Pluto in Capricorn and Jupiter in Pisces hold the energy signature of the bigger picture. So there's something here about a new goal, a new desire, a new understanding, even the energy of this is what I've been learning, this is what I've been moving through, and I beautifully acknowledge my own growth, while also understanding what I want to do next, where I want to go next. This is strengthening energy, and it's also uplifting and empowering. So this would be a good week to stay open to what those desires are for you, what those ambitions are. And this is also the energy of doing something differently because of how far you've come, because of what you've learned, what you've been through, what you've understood about how your energy operates, and also getting into more of a truth of who you are. And I feel like that's what is fueling us right now. That's what's driving us. Is there some kind of new truth, new core truth that perhaps you're holding, claiming, and you've become connected with, that really gives you a sense of, this is me, this is what I want, this is where I'm going, this is what elevates me. And that is the energy that is showing up this week, which also helps connect us to where we're going next in Sagittarius season. This is also new understandings that perhaps you've arrived at because of eclipse season. Things you have been sitting with or working through, even that discomfort and messiness that comes up during eclipses, even the big uncertainty and overwhelm. There's something here that feels very clear. And in fact, I'm getting the image of threading a needle, being so clear and so driven that there is a very fast moving energy that is designed to take us forward and show us the new options, the new possibilities in the new land. And the new land is often symbolized by Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is meant to take us further, meant to take us beyond what we've known. It's the explorer and the seeker. And Sagittarius wants us to keep growing, keep learning. And that means we then are encouraged to sail off into uncharted territory. There's an opening of the energy, and there's also a sense that now there could be something that you're traveling with that has changed you, that has left a positive mark on your energy, or it has been supportive. It has helped you see something in a new way. It has ultimately been empowering. And that's the energy signature of this week, where you could connect with some personal understandings that maybe were haunting you, that maybe were confusing and heavy and emotional. And now there's something, again, it opens up into a new answer, message, download. Something comes through that could give you that gold nugget of understanding, and could also reveal to you where you've been locked in unconscious habits. And that's also part of the gift of Scorpio season, is that because Scorpio is a water sign and a fixed sign, we can be stuck in these emotional patterns and loops. This is where we have unconscious obsessions or addictions. This is where that emotional programming just keeps circling and circling, and we can't see a new answer or new understanding. And even sometimes it keeps circling like it's just going down the drain, like it's spiraling downwards. But as we move into Sagittarius season, where we're going to have Mercury and Venus as well in Sagittarius, I feel like there is a turnaround. There's something that's uplifting, where if it was sinking your energy, pulling you down the drain, it was, again, something intense. Maybe it felt like you had no power in the situation, which, by the way, is a belief system. I'm going to call you out on that, and is not true unless you believe it's true. It's true because of the energy you give to it. But that's where things can be reworked. That's where we are pushed. We're pushed to our own edges in Scorpio season. We're pushed to discomfort, to be brutally honest, to look at things within ourselves that we're like, no, I don't want to look at that. And we're shoving it away, or we don't know if we're going to be able to go into it or go through it. But there's something here where being pushed to your edge and looking at where you have felt powerless is all an illusion. It's all an illusion on this huge playground. And so what are you giving energy to that you're realizing, I don't even want that. I don't even think that's true anymore. That isn't even resonating with me. What the heck am I doing? And then you call yourself on it and you understand, I can change this around. I can reprogram this and think of it differently. And so begins the energy and support of Sagittarius season. What are you willing to look at within yourself with new eyes? What are you seeing differently about your needs, your energy, what you want, what matters to you? Scorpio season can bring about life-changing awareness. And we've had intense energies for a number of months now, including that fourth Saturn-Uranus square in October, plus eclipse season with strong Scorpio energies and the South Node in Scorpio. So we are meant to be evolving and moving forward with this new awareness, with new insights. And when you think about how Scorpio energy takes us down into the depths of our beings, where we go into our own coal mine of energy, we then tune in to more than what the eye sees. We're really going into our psychic abilities, our intuitive messages, what we're feeling and sensing that is becoming really alive and providing us with new insights around our energies. And so as we transition out of Scorpio season and move into the light and higher awareness of Sagittarius energies, there are often things that we've come to understand about ourselves, new revelations, new messages around our energy. And the Sagittarius energy, as I said, being a mutable sign, opens up the choices. So every fixed sign is followed by a mutable sign. And this is where we can get out of something that's been gridlocked, because the fixed signs are very persistent, stubborn. They can be very fixated on something, but the transition into mutable opens up the energy, the choices, the options, and reminds us that there are multiple ways to create anything in our lives. There are multiple ways to move forward. We always have choices. And over this next week, we enter a period of time where the mutable signs are going to be dominant. In fact, we're going to have 6 planets in mutable signs. We're going to have the Sun, Mercury, and Venus all in Sagittarius. Plus, we have Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces, and we also have Mars in Gemini. So this energy signature with dominant mutable signs is asking us to stay flexible. And in fact, there's an energy signature here of staying open to what you don't know yet. And that's because not only do we have the expansive Sag energies coming in, as well as the Sagittarius New Moon on November 23rd, but we also have this Mars retrograde in Gemini exactly squaring Neptune retrograde in Pisces at 22 degrees. And this square lasts for most of this week. It's already been in effect because they've only been apart by 1 or 2 degrees, but now they're reaching an exact square at 22 degrees that's really strong November 18th until about November 23rd, November 24th. So what this shows us is that if we can go higher into trusting what we don't know, if we can find peace with not having all the answers, all the details, then we are elevating up to those higher frequencies where we're moving forward with faith, with trust, and with a renewed connection to the divine, meaning, okay, I don't understand everything, or maybe you've been confused or overwhelmed or feeling like there's just so much going on. What is real? What is true for me right now? And if we stay open and working with the higher octaves of the mutable energies, then we're expanding the energy and opening it up into some new places that our consciousness wouldn't normally travel. And energetically, I'm seeing this as something you can check in with around your chakras. Where is there a particular chakra that is locked or closed? Is there energy that is stagnant or small? Are there parts of your own energy that you feel have shrunk or just haven't had anything life-giving or life-expanding? This would be a week to check in on that for yourself, and then imagine that chakra energy starting to spin again, because these are wheels of energy and they're meant to be in motion. But at times they might slow down, be moving very slowly because of a heaviness or stagnation. And now is the time to reinvigorate those parts of yourself, to take a look at where you're ready to receive energetic support, at where there are new messages coming through or coming in, and to understand that we're opening up to these new flows. Again, the mutable signs are meant to be flexible, adaptable, flowing, switching between left hand and right hand, allowing the curve in the road and allowing the unknown potentials to be inspiring, to be an energy of trust, that there are multiple ways you can manifest. There are multiple ways miracles can come through and show up. And when we're in that frequency ourselves, when we're in that more expansive, energetic realm, that's where the universe meets us. That's where the new developments come in. But if your energy is too fixated or too locked down, in other words, if you're like surrounded by closed doors, then it would be your free will and your choice to open up those closed doors at this time. And that's what the energy is supporting. Supporting your own curiosity, supporting your own willingness, looking at where you could perhaps detach or let go of something if it's not truly serving you, if it isn't really giving you life, or it isn't really lifting you up. This could even be something where you ask yourself, what am I doing? What am I choosing? What did I choose? What am I focusing on? It could be this very interesting internal conversation that you're having with yourself, that you're reflecting on some things in your life or in your world and wanting there to be changes or new options. And it is up to us to invite that energy in, to be willing to examine some things or to understand what has been going on and how you have been participating in it, co-creating it, putting energy towards it. And there could be something this week where you almost like stop cold. There's a sense of, wait a minute, this isn't even where I want to go. This isn't even what I want. There could even be something that comes up where you feel like you're regressing. You're like, I've already done this pattern. I've already done this pattern. I've already gone down this route. I already know how this plays out. I already know in myself, in my own life, in my own choices, how this will unfold. I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for something different. I'm ready to meet the edge in myself. I'm ready to step towards that unknown and move in that direction, which can be wildly terrifying and also wildly exhilarating. And it feels like that's where we are being nudged or pushed to grow, because it is something that we hold ourselves to, that nobody else really knows, right? Nobody else really knows your innermost thoughts or what's happening in your heart or in your internal world. That's for you to know. That's your wisdom and your consciousness. But there's energetic support over this next week. And as we move into the fullness of Sagittarius season, to push yourself further. But that push isn't punishment. It's from a place of curiosity, excitement, love, expansion. It's from a place of maybe this could be better than what I thought previously. Because after we've worked through some deep fears or really faced things in ourselves, there is a freedom that emerges. And that's also a Sagittarius energy. So we're freeing ourselves from previous versions of ourselves. We're freeing ourselves from our own previous limitations and fears that maybe were controlling us. But if you've been doing some work during this energy period, especially the last 2 months, if you've really been introspective and examining some things, you're understanding that this is not the road I want. This doesn't lead to where I want to go. This isn't correct for me anymore. This doesn't resonate with where I know I'm able to develop and grow next. So there's an interesting frequency here that is supporting us and moving forward, but it's probably because of the hurdles you've jumped or what you've already self-examined that your understanding is not working anymore and you're just kind of done with it. I feel like there could be abrupt changes. I feel like there could be this nope, done, over, kind of this sense of I'm cutting my losses, I'm through with this. And maybe it isn't something in your external world. Perhaps it's something in yourself, because part of the Scorpio energy too is where we can look at how our energy has shown up in regards to others. And Scorpio is a relationship energy. It's about where we take vows and pledges. Scorpio is where we determine what we are committing to and how we see that through. And I feel like we're ending some big soul contracts right now at a personal level. It feels like there could be some memories or messages or something in your dream state, or maybe even something through an energy reading that takes you back, perhaps even to your own Akashic records or a past life memory or session where you took a certain vow at a soul level to move through various experiences. Some people take vows of poverty and you're like, no more of that. I don't want that energy. I release myself from that vow. I mean, this is where the energy goes so deep. It's like following the threads or the string through the soul's journey. And you're recognizing those patterns, those habits, those things you've been locked into. Anything that has been limiting your growth could be coming up right now. I'm also feeling like if there's anything that has shut down your heart out of fear, out of denial of love, anything you have negotiated away. And I'm seeing this as the vows, pledges, or promises we make at lower levels of consciousness when we think this is the best I can do. It's almost like having an arranged marriage. And I mean this in the lower consciousness because I know that there are arranged marriages that are very successful and that work very well. But I'm getting the image of an arranged situation or something that your heart was locked into because you didn't believe in true love, or you didn't believe that a higher love was possible. And it was sort of like, I'll take whatever I can get, or I'll just go with what my family has established or has set up, because at least that's something, at least that's a partner. But do you see how there's a lot of limitation and denial in that energy? So this might not resonate with you at all, but I'm feeling this very strongly because it does relate as well to what we've been journeying through with the North Node in Taurus and Uranus in Taurus, which is setting us free from other people's energies or influence that is no longer empowering you, that's no longer true for you. And now we've been flooded, and we're going to continue to feel this incoming energy into the heart space of what you really value in yourself and how you value being loved, how you're here to stand in the worthiness of your expansive heart. And I'm just feeling this as strong heart chakra activations, openings, expansion that have not been easy to come by. That's the thing, because the Scorpio energy, again, takes us into the fears, the emotional intensity. And when we visit those places in ourselves, especially when we keep revisiting them, we discover even more around that unconscious programming that has infiltrated us or has affected what we really need. So I'm feeling like there's something that breaks out. I'm feeling there's something, again, you could be like, I'm just going to cut this off. I'm just done with this. I recognize the pattern. This is taking me backwards. This is not going forward. It's kind of like this self-evaluation in your life where you could be seeing how much you've changed internally, perhaps even in quiet ways, perhaps in ways you haven't spoke about, but you've internally shifted and you feel it. And now the energy is moving out, like it looks like it's expanding out of the heart chakra and then out of the aura. And that's when it starts to really affect other people, where your energy, it's like it's rising up and out to something you can't deny or you can't hold back. And part of the expansion into Sagittarius energy and Sagittarius season is owning this new truth, is really believing in it and allowing it to give you validation of your own journey. Validating a part of yourself that has deeply changed, deeply transformed, that you're very aware of. Now, the Sagittarius energy is independent. It can be carefree and restless. And there's a sense here of, I'm going to do what I need to do because this is my truth. And I think that we're going to have those messages coming in, especially starting with the Sagittarius New Moon at 2 degrees of Sagittarius on November 23rd. I have a video for you on YouTube going through the specifics of this energy signature, talking about more of what is coming up during this new moon cycle. But it also is an entry point into these strong Sagittarius energies. And it's opening us up to something that you're truly feeling and sensing is true for you, that maybe it's the first time in your life or in this lifetime or in any lifetime that you're connecting with a part of your God self that has been holding an important understanding for you. And I'm feeling this because the same day that we have the Sagittarius New Moon, we have Jupiter stationing direct at 28 degrees of Pisces. And Jupiter in Pisces is connecting us with our higher self, our spiritual wisdom, our soul's guidance, and also bringing our attention to something we've been moving through, which we would perceive as a spiritual lesson. So there could be something here that you're drastically shifting or changing. It's almost like, again, something you can't deny, something that's really big, really powerful, because it pertains to the bigger picture of your spiritual lessons in this lifetime. It does feel that significant. And of course, just trust that for yourself. I speak in general terms in this podcast, so always determine what resonates with you, what doesn't. But it feels like this is a spiritual turning point. It feels like there's something here that has been coming up. I'm seeing it as when you're driving in your car and there's another vehicle approaching on the right-hand side or something, and it pulls up right next to you, and then it's right there and you can't miss it. It's almost like it could come up fast and all of a sudden it's right there and you're like, oh, wow, I get it. I see it. There's something that is really strongly resonating. And I feel like as we move into the Sagittarius season energy, it gathers more life, but there's also this ongoing square between Mars in Gemini and Neptune in Pisces, as I mentioned, that means don't focus on the particulars yet. Don't try to know the details. Just stay open, just stay expansive, because that's where more information comes in. It comes in intuitively. The information comes in through your emotional body, through what you're really feeling. It's not coming through the mind. It's not coming through what you would typically think about or process. It's a more receptive incoming energy of a truth that I feel is resonating at a cellular level. It's almost like Velcro, like something coming in and connecting at a cellular level that you're just feeling or sensing, and it just clicks like, oh, I get it. I see it. I understand. And that is something that is meant to support you and to give you a truer trust in your journey, and to also be an acknowledgement from the universe of, look at how far you've come. Look at what you've overcome. Look at what you've moved through. Look at what you've shifted. Look at how you evolved. I mean, it's very rare these days that somebody can just be standing still and not feeling any of these powerful energies. But when you look at how much has changed for you, especially in only one lifetime, there's something here that could shed some light on what you're truly learning at a soul level that your mind can overlook, but your soul, your energy, your overall vibration feels it and is welcoming it in. We're also going to have Mercury and Venus traveling together in Sagittarius, moving from about 3 degrees to 10 degrees, nearly exactly conjunct. And this is a synergy here between the Mercury mind, the Venus energies of reception and what you love. And it could be like you're ready to go. You're ready to move into this new terrain, this new territory. There could be plans or things that you want to formulate. There could be a desire to just get life moving in a new way. So overall, this is a week where whatever you've been deeply processing and feeling and moving through, don't be surprised if something just clicks, if it just lands and you're like, wow, I get it. I see it. I understand. And this is meant to be supportive, loving energy. It's meant to inspire you to move forward and to look at what you can do next. But at the same time, it could be overwhelming. It could be overwhelming. It could be confusing. You could say, oh, okay, now what do I do with all this? I don't know what to do. So this is unique for each of us. It depends on how you run energy through you, on how you move with the energy, especially how you move with the bigger Sagittarius energies. But ultimately, it is a time here to stay open to what has powerfully shifted for you, what messages are coming through that are supporting you in your next steps, and also giving you a renewal of hope and trust in what is possible going forward. The sun enters Sagittarius on November 22nd at 3:20 a.m. and will keep moving through the sign of the Archer until the upcoming solstice. So we will continue our conversation on Sagittarius energies as well as what is unfolding as we move through the final months of 2022. And so I also wanted to share with you a new experience that is coming through in September 2023. I am part of a group of people hosting an Alaskan cruise. It is a 7-day cruise leaving from Seattle, making various stops in Alaska. And we are going to be going through some beautiful scenery and energies. And while we're on the cruise together, I'll be teaching an astrology workshop, and other spiritual teachers, healers, and energy guides will also be offering workshops. So it is essentially an opportunity to have a beautiful cruise and learn some things along the way. It's called Sail with Spirit, sailwithspirit.com. And on the website, you can see all the details of the trip and all the particulars of our itinerary. So I wanted to invite you to join me if that resonates, if that's something you've been wanting to do. I have been on an Alaskan cruise before. It's gorgeous. I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to see the new scenery and the new beautiful environments we'll be traveling through. If you have questions, please check out that website, sailwithspirit.com. And you can also call someone. There is someone who is our cruise organizer. Her name is Adele. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to her directly. But I just wanted to let you know that this opportunity is happening next September. I will keep mentioning it. I'll send out an email with more information as well. But I would love for you to join me. And I'm already excited that so many of you have signed up. We're going to have a great time. And I feel like it's going to be a very special gathering. So check out the details at sailwithspirit.com. I will be back on Monday for our next podcast episode. You can find a new episode every Monday and Wednesday. You can also find out more about my latest astrology programs and courses over at mollymccord.online. So please check that out if you're looking to learn more about your astrology chart and your astrological energies. Thank you so much for joining me. Wishing you a beautiful Sagittarius New Moon coming up next week. And we will continue discussing the ongoing power of these energies as we close out 2022 and move into 2023. Take good care, and I'll see you back here soon.